Now, that episode was extremely twisted. As of the last episode, I think episode 2 or episode 3, where young Beth was walking in a dark room and saw a face in a sink, turned out a lot more than a nightmare. It was memories. Turns out, after the car crashed, a man and his son rescued her and brought her home. And as soon as I saw them, that little kid, he was really scared and distant, and he always kept hiding his face with his hair. And the man kept refusing to let her pick up the phone and call her dad and tell her that she's okay. And she had no clue what happened to her mother until later after. And then Alice started stealing thigh muscles, thigh skin from dead people in the morgue. And everybody called the skin pirate, which was a bit ugh. And I thought at first it was Thomas Elliot that escaped and stole some skin grafts and used to copy himself as Bruce Wayne so he can get his own back after what the Waynes did for him and his family. Well, in his words, stole his inheritance. The night that his parents were supposed to be dead, he did that. But this is basically the 5th episode we're talking about here. And obviously they're connected. She must have had a feeling that Kate planted a bug on her boy toy, Beth's boy toy, but he's no longer in the picture since he's been finally captured and apprehended and sent to custody, and probably sent to Arkham, mostly, or Blackgate, whichever comes first. And then Beth was captured by Kate once again, but this time not by meeting, by use of force. And Luke said, and I quote, "Batman never needed goggles. He had X-ray lenses in his coil." Well, in her case, her coil. And I did not know that Batwoman can use a nightstick. I thought that was more Robin's or Red Robin's department. But I guess that if anybody can use it, they can use it. And then they went to a trip down the memory lane of how it all began. And it turns out that guy was a lot more twisted than we thought. She wanted to go home, and she was having such a good time with the kid because it turns out he was gifted by mimicking people's voices. And I thought I can do that because I can do a little bit of it, but not as good as him. He quoted the Goonies, which was pretty cool. And he can also mimic other people. And then as soon as Beth's father heard her voice on the phone, she stormed into that farm. And the father forced the kid to make it sound like it was him that was doing it. And deep down, Kate knew she was there. But she had her doubts. And you can see from that episode, it broke her. That she realised that she was right on the other side of the door and she could have said something. But the guy said, if you say anything, they're dead and it's your fault. And it turns out that poor kid had an accident and scar tissue down across his face, and that's why he kept using his hair to cover his face. And then Catherine told her daughter what she did. And then Mary, I think that's right, went on a complete upset drinking binge. And ended up in Wayne Tower, and where she met Luke. Which, of course, she was upset, angry, drunk, and... well, let's say drunk. And stormed through the main tower and basically pretty much almost drank Wayne's selection of alcohol. Which, of course, they probably restacked every time when it's in usage. And then both Luke and Mary, I think. I mean, if I get her name wrong, it's just that I'm terrible with keeping names. As long as I hear it over a million times, but taking time. she thought that she's not the best sister because she's not a killer. And she did nearly get killed by Beth's, well, ex-boy toy, that one episode, and she... But I have a funny feeling both Luke and her are going to probably hit it off because they were basically arguing and chatting away with each other, which was pretty funny. And then both Kate's father and Beth were in the same room, and then she basically stabbed him. And we saw the older boy, or should we say mouse, finally, as an adult. Apparently he was in Arkham and he escaped. Then, long story short, now both the entire family of Kane and the stepmother and the stepsister, whole bunch of them, including Sophie, they all know. And Kate did something stupid. She placed her finger into her mouth, to keep her quiet, the exact same way as she did when she wore the suit. Now she's going to put two and two together. And so Alice and Mouse have a huge plan. And the skin that she stole was for him. And apparently he can disguise himself as anyone he wants. I wonder what's going to happen. And I'm trying to figure out, is Alice going to be part of the crisis? Maybe, because I know we've seen a lot of Easter eggs involving from Elseworld. So, guess we're going to have to figure out until the next two episodes. So hopefully I'll be able to start reacting again at the 8th episode, as I said in my previous episodes. Well, previous afterthoughts, really. So, you know what to do. So, until then, I'll see you later.